All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory out and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shot from the Chicago camp. Coming back to you for I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this is on the Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges. And he says $8 per gallon is critical mass for economic collapse. So we're going to let this play, and then we'll get some scriptures.
Studying about how the Romans fell. I finished studying how the Brits fell, and now I'm looking at how America's fallen. And we've
All
fallen from
Edomite
within.
empires, might I add.
We've been betrayed by our own leaders. We've made unwise choices. We've been greedy. And now our leaders do not serve Americans. That's quite obvious. And we now have some clear data in front of us. I've been speaking with truckers, and I've been speaking with economists. And I've been asking them a question. I said, everything in our economy is shipped. Just-in-time deliveries, everything. Food, other essentials, medicine, groceries, everything is shipped. At what point does the shipping stop because what we're doing is not sustainable? The figure that I'm getting most often for diesel is $8 per gallon. Now, I get some people that will say 9, some people say 10. I haven't had anyone go above 11 or 12. I think 12 was the highest I've heard. But generally speaking, the most common, the mode, is 8. The upper range tends to be 10. Now, here's why. A trucker has to calculate his fuel costs versus his revenue benefit by transporting goods from point A to point B. He also has to take into account if he's going into places like New York or California where they artificially drive the price up with their insane regulations, he has to account on those increases as well. So every good trucker gets out his handy-dandy, what's the gasoline cost in this area, and plans his trip out accordingly. And what I'm being told is if the average for the entire trip, let's say you're going 400 miles, if the average is over $8, it doesn't pay the trucker to do it on most loads. Now, some loads are high revenue loads, and so that amount could increase with regard to fuel to revenue. But what used to be a prized load is now an average load that still requires a lot of work and care. And so they're going to look at this and say, no, I will not take that particular truck from Los Angeles to Albuquerque and back to Las Vegas before I go home. I will not do that. It's not profitable for me. And there's nothing that the government can do to make them. Well, they could invoke Executive Order 13603, which has a slavery component to it. Work without compensation is what the language says. But these people are not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They will sit it out.
There you go on commercials.
Except to win with BetMGM. Do it. They will sit it out. In fact, if you look at some of the comments we've had when we've talked about fuel prices, we've had some truckers write in here and they tell you, yeah, Dave, it's way over 6 and it gets much higher. I'm done. And I can't blame them. You can't.
You heard that. If gas pretty much gets over the $6-7 to the $8 mark, they're not going to be shipping any products. And when I saw this, it reminded me of 2007, I Am Legend. Now, this is a screenshot of a certain part in the film where, as you can see, they were at Will Smith was by this gas station, and the price of gas was damn near $7. Okay. And we're talking about this movie was in 2007. So this is when gas was maybe like $3, around $3 a gallon. In some places, maybe 4, depending on where you lived. But that was like high, like the extreme. Okay. And now you fast forward the clock, what, 14 years later? Okay, you got diesel fuel, as he said, damn near about to reach $8. Certain places in the United States, gas is already 7. I know here in Illinois, it's getting to the point where even going into the suburbs, gas is still high. It's like in some places, gas is like 5, 6. I think for regular it might be 5.69, and then 5.79, and then 5.89. Damn near gas is for the most part $6 here in Illinois, especially Chicago. And you're very surrounded suburbs, close surrounded suburbs. Okay. So as Dave mentioned, if gas goes any higher, all right, this spells great disaster in the very near future, because there is no supply, there's no product that gets to any place without a truck. Okay. And he mentioned that a lot of these grocery stores are doing uh, just in time delivery. So if you got a store that's doing maybe 2 or 3 just in time deliveries a day, what's going to happen when this gas goes up to $8, $9, $10? You might have one delivery a day, maybe. And see, that's going to cause not only an economic collapse, but it's going to cause great famine. Okay. Because you have a lot of people in this world who just can't live without food. And when these stores stop having the things you need, it's going to get really bad. Folks already, they even starting to put it on the mainstream media about a shortage of baby formula. Can't get enough baby formula, supply chain going crazy. One thing of baby formula per person, you can't buy like 2 and 3 anymore. It's about to get really bad out here. When you go to the book of Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, and the 14th verse, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." I mean, a destruction to this world and the people that dwell therein. All right. And it says that verse 19, I'm going to skip to 19. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And what is a lack of bread? Famine. When people can't eat, when they're hungry. All right. This is going to cause, as the Bible says, Egyptian versus Egyptian. This is what's going to cause a brother to turn against their brother. People who have been friends for 25, 35 some years and their children have grown up together. It's going to make those two types of people go to war with each other. And see, this was all predicted in the Bible, because you got to look at this. I'm going to just, and I've done this before, but I'm just going to type in famine and see how many. There's 103 results when you type in the word famine. And all this was predicted in the Bible, that there would be a famine. Okay. And I'm going to go to Jeremiah 11 and 22. I mean, there's more, but we'll just read Jeremiah 11 and 22. I might have to start up. No, Jeremiah 11 and 22. It says, "For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by famine." And that's what's going to happen to many of you Israelites out there. 70 AD 2.0. Because when you go to the book of, what's that, Lamentations? Was it the 4th chapter? Yep, Lamentations 4. And just trying to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, it is 4. Okay, Lamentations 4 and 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they be slain with the hunger." We just read that in Jeremiah 11. The sons will die by the sword. I mean, the father shall die by the sword, and the sons and the daughters shall die by famine. Okay. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with the hunger, the sons and the daughters, for these shall pine away." All right. You're basically going to wither away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. You're going to wither away and wish that you had something to eat, even if it's a pack of mustard. Starving to death is probably one of the most horrible ways to die. I want to say it's in the top 3 or top 5 for sure. Withering away because of malnutrition, as they call it. Okay? And see, when people can't get anything to eat, then it's going to produce another extreme result, which is cannibalism. All right. And that goes, and we're going to get that in this verse. It says, verse 10, "The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children," means boiled, cooked their own children. They were their meat, their meal, their food in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Who's the daughter of the Lord's people? Who's the daughter of the Lord, I should say? Israel. She's referred to as a comely and delicate woman. Many scriptures refer to Israel as the daughter of Zion. Okay, so the Lord's talking about many of you Israelites out there, especially you Israelite women, are going to die of hunger. And for those of you all who don't die by hunger, this famine is going to be so horrible that it's going to provoke you to do the most horrible and extreme thing that probably a parent can do to a child, and that's to eat them, cook them, and eat them like you all make these nasty ass pork chops. You're going to cook your children and eat them because the famine is going to be that bad due to this hyperinflation. Dave's telling you that these truckers are telling him if this gas gets any higher, we are going to stop delivering. Something to think about. Well, I hope you all were edified. Until the next time, we're going to say shalom.